The part that really kind of sticks in my craw, though, is within that story, Carrie reveals that her 13-year-old daughter helps take these photos, which is disturbing, to say the least. Um, and, Carrie kind of justifies it by saying her kids are, quote, loving the money that she rakes in from OnlyFans. One thing I do have a problem with, however, is the rather risque site, OnlyFans. So if you haven't heard about it, OnlyFans is technically not a porn site. Anyone can use it. Artists can use it to sell their work and stuff like that. But figuratively, effectively, yeah. Thank you, Joe. Effectively, it's a porn site. And I want to talk about today because I've been seeing a few stories circle through that just really, I guess, from a conservative Christian world viewpoint, is really kind of depressing to see these types of stories. So I have a couple here. So the first one I want to bring up is a former United Kingdom pop star. Her name is Carrie Katona. She used to sing for Atomic Kitten. So if you know them, congrats. You know more than I do.
Is that like that game Exploding Kittens?
I don't think it's anything alike. In an interview with Closer magazine, Carrie basically said that, yeah, she makes a decent chunk of change off OnlyFans, posting risque, pornographic, nude photos, what have you. The part that really kind of sticks in my craw, though, is within that story, Carrie reveals that her 13-year-old daughter helps take these photos, which is disturbing, to say the least. Carrie kind of justifies it by saying her kids are, quote, loving the money that she rakes in from OnlyFans. And then the second story, just kind of within the same bubble, rapper Bad Baby, real name Danielle Bergoli, who you guys probably know as the Cash Me Outside girl from Dr. Phil. In an April 1st Instagram post, she revealed that she made over $1 million within 6 hours of joining OnlyFans, which is a record. And she had just turned 18. So this is a freshly legal girl putting stuff, like an 18-year-old still, putting stuff on the internet and people paying for this content. So I guess I'll start this. Cameron, I'll kick this over to you. What are some, actually we just talked about this. What do you think are some actionable things Christians and conservatives can do when you see this type of cultural rot, I guess? How would you proceed, Cameron? If you were running the planet Earth, how would you proceed with this?
Well, not to get too personal here, but I've personally had to talk people out of getting OnlyFans accounts before. And people who I think, because I was just telling you beforehand, like I'm turning 18 next month, and I know a lot of people who kind of desperate in a sense. They don't know a better way to kind of get money, and they kind of feel misguided in a sense. They're like, hey, here's this thing that seems like it might work, and people will really resort to selling themselves in that sense. And that's typically when people might not really have like the resources or the backing to have like the moral guidance in a sense. And I feel like when people kind of see this happening in their own lives, they need to reach out to these people or reach out to people who are considering this maybe in their own life in a sense, and just basically be like, there's a better way. Help these and then help them find a job. Pretty much. That's probably the best advice I'm going to give. In a sense, is if people are considering this and they need to make a bigger push for this with students who are maybe more higher risk for going into these sorts of things, they need to make a bigger push to have more job programs, more job resources, to make sure that people, instead of getting into things like this, are getting into hourly jobs, more honest work. And I feel like that's kind of the only way that we're really going to combat this, at least with young people. I don't really know too much kind of about kind of the other stuff that you were talking about, but kind of in my own experience, that's personally what I've seen is 18-year-olds being like, hey, this is a good way to get money. I'm kind of desperate for cash right now. Here's what I'm gonna do.